Hi everyone, we are meeting again to discuss the other topic in organization behavior. And these are the motivating theories which we were talking about last time. It was early theories, and then now today we'll be discussing about the contemporary theories, which involves the goal theory. We'll start with the goal theory, right? I'll just share the screen with you so that you can also see these slides and read it, which will make you understand better. I hope you can see the screen now. Yeah, so when we talk about the contemporary theories, under which the goal theory comes in picture, first thing. And if you talk about the goal theory, it was basically proposed by Edwin and Gary in between 60s to 70s, right? It's suggested that, specific setting, setting specific settings and challenging goals can significantly enhance the motivation, performance, and the achievement. Right. Again, think about it when you about the challenging goals. All the theories are interlinked, right? Earlier we had seen theory X and theory Y, right? And we had also seen the satisfiers and dissatisfiers. That is, motivators and the hygiene theory of this, right? So two-factor theory. So now understand this when uh, in the goal theory, people are talking about setting a specific, and challenging goals can significantly enhance the motivation and performance and the achievement. So according to this theory, individuals are motivated to work towards the goal, right? That are clear, specific, and challenging. Now, link this line with the other theory which we had just discussed in the last session, and that was the need for power, need for achievement, need for affiliation, Lackland theory, rather, right? So there it was very clear that goals has to be very, very specific and clear, right? In this theory also, these psychologists are saying the same thing. Goals has to be clear. So if you talk about the key component, here we have goals, feedback, and the task complexity, right? So goals are specific and measuring. Just give me a sec. My screen is it's not visible to you, I guess. Let me just check. Okay, I need to stop sharing, I guess. Yeah, let me share it. Okay, so I guess you can see it again. So when you talk about the goals, feedback, and task complexities, so goals are basically specific and measurable, right? Objectives that individuals strive to achieve. Goals can be short term or the long term, ranging from daily tasks to the larger aspirations, right? And it could be challenging, but realistic and attainable. This is important. You talk about the feedback system has to be there, proper system has to be there. It refers the information about the progress towards the attainment of the goal. It provides individual with the guidance on their performance, right? Uh, Helps them track their progress and identifies, areas where improvement is required, right? You talk about the task complexity. Task complexity refers to the level of difficulty or the complexity associated with the goal related to the task. Complex task may require more efforts and the resources to accomplish. So now, if that is there, you need to understand before assigning such jobs to the employees, resources needs to be there on place. So individual may adjust their goal setting, as strategies based on the complexity of the task, right? And that is the main reason why I said, if you remember in the previous video, I clearly mentioned that managers generally, do not. I have seen people, few managers. these people doesn't communicate properly with the team members and clearly tell the deadlines. So if it is 15 days deadline, they are saying 8 days, which is not done, right? If you just give them 8 days instead of the work which can be done in 15 days, how people will make this strategy, right? So here it is very clear when you say, when you talk about this theory, goal has to be, you know, if it is complex goal, people can adjust their strategies accordingly, right? But it has to be realistic. Right? So these are the key component of this goal setting theory. Let's talk about the principle of the goal theory. It works on five principle: clarity, challenge, commitment, feedback, and task complexity. So goals has to be clear. That's one thing which is very, very important. There should not be any ambiguity, right? It should not be uncertain or undermining, uncertain, certainly. Uncertain goals or unrealistic goals will certainly impact the motivation and the performance, right? I'm very clear in this. And of course, this theory also says so it's the same thing. And with my experience, I can also say this thing. Right? When the goals are ambiguous, then people, leave it, right? You talk about the challenges. Goals should be challenging, but realistic, pushing individual to stress their capabilities and strive for excellence. People are ready for it. People are ready to stretch the capabilities, but it has to be realistic, right? And challenging goals, they are ready to take the challenge, right? Commitment, if you talk about, individuals are more likely to be motivated to pursue goals that they are committed to achieving, right? Commitment to goals is influenced by factors such as perceived importance, relevance, and personal investment in the goal attainment. Right. So personal investment, if you see, the engagement comes in picture in the other theory we had discussed about it. Uh, Feedback and monitoring. Uh, this is again important. Providing regular feedback and monitoring progress towards goal is essential for maintaining motivation. And performance feedback helps individual to track their progress, identify areas for improvement, and stay focused. That is important, right? So they will not deviate themselves from the goal, if at all, if the feedback will keep on coming. And it has to be, healthy feedback. Mm, Healthy means what? We need to talk about the facts and figures only, and with this should be unbiased, right? So healthy feedback simply means that you are gonna work together to discuss the issue, to solve the issue, or probably if something is needed to change to make the changes in the strategy, that is again you are open for. So healthy discussion has to be there, right? Task complexity should be, goals should be tailored, I would say, to complexity and the specificity of the task. So that is what I said. 15 days, 8 days will not be, right? Work For work, you have got 15 days. So 13 days is okay. I mean, for 2 days, you can take it in buffer, but you need to communicate it clearly to the person who has actually taken the challenge, right? Otherwise, what will happen? That fellow will fall flat. I believe you know, I've seen also people are highly motivated, so they take the challenges. But when they take the challenges, after that it doesn't happen, and then they fall flat on their face, right? So it has to be there, right? Task complexity, uh, goals are directly associated with this thing, right? You talk about the practical application of this theory. It is a simple theory, but until unless you apply it, has got no meaning. It is very good theory, but simple yet good, and gives you the results. But if you don't apply, nothing will happen, right? So please start applying. Again, I'm saying, you talk about the practical application, personal goal setting. The individual can apply goal setting principles to set, personal goals for various aspects of their lives, such as you say what career advancement, You talk about health and fitness, yeah, skill development. So personal goal setting is important. Just give me a second again. I think I have got certain problem in sharing the screen. Let me just show it to you. And again, we'll start. I guess it is clear now. So, yeah, personal goal setting. Yeah. Then you have the organizational goal setting. Organizations can use goal setting theory to set clear, challenging goals for employees or the teams or the departments. But goal setting theory, if you apply, you need to be very clear that goals has to be clear and realistic. This is a key word. Hmm. If it is difficult, then it's okay. Complexity is one of the principle, right? So that is okay. But it has to be, you know, clear. Organization goal setting. Then you talk about the performance management. Feedback comes in picture here, right? Performance management, if you say, it has to, you know, be, talk about the, here we need to talk about the SMART, that is the acronym, where that is the abbreviation, what we generally use. That stands for specific, measurable, achievable, yeah, relevant, and T for time bound. So performance always, is the integral part of this. Undoubtedly, it is the integral part. You need to measure it. So here we generally talk about the SMART, right? SMART. Okay. So performance management, SMART basically stands for S, stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and T for time bound. Right? So training and development is another thing which is important. Practical aspect, if you see, training and development, it really helps you out, right? Program can incorporate goal setting techniques to help individuals set learning objectives, right? And develop new skills and achieve professional growth and advancement. Leadership and management, it really helps you out because this is the theory of the motivation. People are going to lead, right? You have the team member with you. Leaders and managers can use goal setting to motivate and align their team, right, towards common objective. Foster a culture of accountability and the achievement, right? So these are the basic practical application part of this goal setting theory. Next theory, which is there in contemporary theory, and that theory is self-efficacy theory, where Albert Bandura has done a good work, right? Again, he is the psychologist, and 1970s around suggests that individual beliefs about their capabilities to perform a specific task or achieve desired outcomes, significantly influence their motivation, right? So what influence the motivation? Individual believe about their capability, right? To perform a specific task or achieve desired outcome, influence their motivation, behavior, and performance. So one should be able to believe in himself, right? That yes, it can be done. Again, it can only be done through the motivation. They need to believe in, right? That yes, it can be done. Now, Bandura is very, very famous for this Bobo doll experiment, right? I'll just give you the hint of that Bobo doll experiment. Uh, so Bandura, basically what he did, he conducted the study on around in 60s, early 60s, I would say, and that is very, very famous experiment, right? It has changed a lot of things or given clues, right? So basically, this experiment, highlighted the role of observational learning and imitation in shaping children's behavior, challenging the dominant paradigm of behaviorism, right? So what was the background? I just give you the background and the methodology, how this person has worked on this particular experiment, and then after we'll move to the, I'll give you the results of that so that you get fair idea about it. So Albert Bandura, basically, he was a Canadian, okay, Canadian American, and psychologist, of course. He proposed that learning is a social process and can occur through observation and imitation. That is what we have already studied or discussed in the unit 2, I guess, right? Even in the absence of the direct reinforcement, right? People learn from the observation. So this was a departure from, the traditional behaviorist theory, which emphasized direct reinforcement. Bandura is saying direct reinforcement, if it is not there, even then, learning will happen through the observation. So design was basically methodology. If you see, the Bobo doll experiment was, you know, designed to investigate whether children could learn aggressive behavior through observation on aggressive behavior. So what he did, he had taken 72 children, right? And ranging the age from 3 to 6 years, right? Small kids, 72. He divided that, 72 children, those 72 children into the three groups. So one was the control group, one was the group, aggressive group. One group was exposed to the control group, other group was exposed to the aggressive group, and the third group was exposed to the non-aggressive group, non-aggressive model, rather, I would say, instead of the group. So what happened? The exposure, when exposure was there, a lot of the group which was exposed to the aggressive model, right? Children in this group observed an adult model behaving aggressively towards a bobo doll, right? A large inflatable toy that was a bobo doll, right? That would right itself when knocked over, right? The adult hit, kicked, and verbally assaulted the doll, demonstrating both, physical and verbal aggression. So, because they were exposed to the aggressive model, right? And they have done that behavior. They started hitting, they started, kicking, all those things with the bobo doll, right? So, the other group, which was exposed to the non-aggressive model, there, children just started playing peacefully with that toy, right? With other toy, in fact, right? And uh, they were just not bothered about the bobo doll, right? So they were not bothered about it. They have not kicked. They have not s- done anything with the doll, right? So there were certain toys. They started playing with it, and one thing in this basically that they have not hit the bobo doll, the group which was exposed to the non-aggressive model. Then the third one is the controlled, the group which was exposed to the control model or control group. So children in that group were exposed to any model and were simply allowed to play with the toys in the group, right? So observation, what is the observation from this? After exposure, the children were placed in a room with the various toys, including a Bobo doll, and their behavior was observed without the presence of the adult model. The researchers recorded the incidences and of aggressive behavior that imitated the action of the model as well as any novel aggressive behavior, right? That were not observed during the exposure phase. So what is the result? Finally, the result comes in imitative aggression, gender differences, it was there in the, result. So children who observed the aggressive model were significantly more likely to display aggressive behavior towards the bobo doll. right? They imitated both specific physical and verbal aggression demonstrated by the model, right? And boys were generally more aggressive than girls. This is the gender difference, right? However, uh, boys and girls were both more likely to imitate the same sex model, suggesting a gender identification effect, right? Girls were doing the same thing. One girl is doing something, other girl is also imitating the same thing, right? And then you talk about the children in the non-aggressive model group showed significantly less aggressive behavior compared to the aggressive model group, right? So, what is the implication and significance if you see in this particular model? Social learning is important, right? Influence of media, observing this exposure rather, right? Behavioral model you talk about, right? So concept of modeling became crucial in the various fields, including the psychology, criminology, for instances. Teachers and parents were encouraged to model positive behavior, right? So even if you observe it at the place, right, home, it happens, right? And in relation to this, we'll also talk a little bit in the transaction analysis. We'll talk a little bit more about it. Bobo uh, doll experiment, right? So, what self-efficacy theory of motivation has got the key component as uh, self-efficacy belief, right? Sources of your self-efficacy. Uh, Belief, if you talk about self-efficacy, belief are individuals' judgment or perception of their capabilities to successfully perform a specific task. These beliefs are domain specific, you know, context dependent, meaning that individuals may have different levels of self efficacy. Okay. Uh, you talk about the self efficacy, belief influence various aspects of. I don't know. I mean, I got the message that your screen stopped sharing. So, anyways, so let's get back to this. And then you talk about the sources of self-efficacy. First is like mastery experience. Past success or the failure in similar tasks contribute to individual self-efficacy beliefs. Successful experiences enhances self-efficacy, while failures may undermine it. Past experience, your success, on that in that particular task, of course, will boost up your motivation. That yes, you have already done it in the past, so you can easily do it. You have got the experience, right? If you have got fail in that, out of 10, you 8 times you failed, so it simply means that you know when again the same task comes in, you probably would uh, not like to go for it because you have already got the past experience, right? And that is what the leader's job is. They need to identify which job should be given to who, which person, basis on their past experiences, right? That leader needs to understand and the skill set, right? Vicarious experiences. You talk about, observing others who are similar to oneself succeed or fail in similar tasks, right? Can influence the self-efficacy belief. Like we say that if he can do it, why not you? I or why not you? Right? Seeing others succeed can increase self-efficacy, while observing failures can decrease. If he is not able to do it, then I think it is really tough. Probably I'll not be able to do it, right? So self-efficacy also comes from this thing. I watch people, doing that job uh, very easily, comfortably, efficiently. So I'll start feeling that okay, I'll also do it. I can also do it. But vice versa is also true, right? You talk about the verbal persuasion, encouragements, feedback, persuasion from others, such as Coaches normally do it, right? Mentors do it. Your peers also at times, motivate you, right? That yes, you can do it, you can do it. It is possible that nobody, one person has never done the anchoring in the, in his life. But one fine day, people have started saying something and, boosting him, motivating him, coaches and the mentors and the peers. And then he takes up the challenge, right? So he start doing it that, yes, why not? I can do it, like self-efficacy. Then after whatever it happens, right? Good, bad, that's a different matter. That is, matter of feedback and the scope of improvement. But at least he has started. So he got motivated for it, right? So verbal persuasion is another thing, right? Emotional states, if we talk about individual emotional states such as, you know, anxiety, stress, and can it can influence their self-efficacy belief. High level of anxiety or stress may decrease the self-efficacy. Right? When you are relaxed, you are better. Right? You perform better when you are relaxed. Positive emotional state you are in when you are relaxed, and that actually gives you the boost, and then you perform better. Right? So anxiety is important. Right? You talk about the principles of self-efficacy, domain specific, dynamic and contextual, influence on behavior and performance, and self-fulfilling prophecy. So when you talk about the domain specificity, self-efficacy belief are specific to particular task, activity, or the situation. Individuals may have different levels of self-efficacy for different domains or area of their life, of their lives, right? So it could be academic, social, professional, whatever it is. Dynamic and contextual. So it believes, self-efficacy beliefs are uh, dynamic and can change over a period of time based on the individual experiences, right? Feedback and the interaction. Let's say an employee has tried for multiple times for some specific job, and again he is unable to perform it, probably not up to the mark. I would say he is able to perform but not up to the mark. So with the feedback and with the uh, analysis of doing this, probably some other belief will be formed in that particular employee, right? So it basically influence this, that particular employee belief. So they are also influenced by the situational factors, task difficulty also, support and resource available, right? All the things influence the this thing. This is very important principle because resources and the support, feedback, these all are very, very important thing. If you want some employee to work on and accomplish the task successfully, you need to provide these things. Now, third is influence on behavior and performance. Self-efficacy beliefs significantly influence the individual motivation, behavior, and performance. High self-efficacy is associated with greater efforts, persistence, resilience, and task performance, wherein low self-efficacy may lead to avoidance, procrastination, or decreased performance. Right. So these are the principle of self-efficacy. Uh, this fulfilling prophecy is. I'll just explain it to you. It also, it beliefs can act as self-fulfilling prophecies, shaping individuals' behavior and outcome. Individuals with high self-efficacy are more likely to engage in challenging tasks, right? Set the ambitious goal, right? Persevere in the face of obstacles and leading to positive outcome. Right? These things are important. These things are the These are the principle of self-efficacy theory, right? We talk about the practical application. So education and learning, it is very, very important. Educators can foster the students' self-efficacy belief by providing them the opportunities for mastery experience, offering constructive feedback, right? Modeling successful behavior, right? And promoting a supportive learning environment, right? Workplace and organization setting, if you talk about, uh, employers can enhance employees' self-efficacy by, providing training and development programs, offering mentoring and coaching support, right? And recognizing and rewarding the achievement and promoting a culture of empowerment. Okay. We talk about the psychological intervention. So therapists and the counselors, generally use this to improve, to give the benefit to the clients or the patients. I would say client is the better word, right? So therapists and counselors can use self-efficacy enhancement techniques such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Normally we say that goal setting, role playing, right? Visualization exercises, etc. To help clients overcoming the self-doubt and develop the confidence, right? So overall, if you see, the self-efficacy theory provides valuable insights into how individual believes about their capabilities, influence, motivation, behavior and performance across various domains of life, right? So this is all about the self-efficacy theory. Rest other theory is the equity theory, which I'll cover in the next video. I'll stop here. I'll stop sharing the screen and stop recording the video. In the next video, we'll talk about this theory, right? Equity theory. Till then, thank you so much. Enjoy yourself. Bye-bye. Take care.
Family is the genesis of this group.
Family is everything for us.
They know the nitty-gritty of what needs to be done.
We're each other's building blocks.
It has never been two families. It has always been one.
પરિવાર એ જ સર્વસ્વ છે.
Without family, I think we would lose my sense of direction. So the Marwari Group's foundation, I think, comes from the desire to prosper. Starting with Marwari Shares and Finance, the retail financial services business, and primarily into stock markets and stock broking segment in India. Essentially, we have 110 odd branches across Gujarat, Maharashtra, about 4 lakh customers or 400,000 customers. It's a business that's stood the test of time.
એટલે એ અમારા ફાધરના ટાઈમથી આવ્યું છે કે આપણે કોઈ પણની અપેક્ષા વગર કોઈને પણ સપોર્ટ કરવો કે એવું નહોતું એમ કે કોઈ પણ નીડ બેઝ હોય કે કાંઈ પણ ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશનમાં સ્ટાફ હોય એને આપણે ફેમિલીની જેમ જ ગણીએ છીએ કોઈ દી સ્ટાફ તરીકે કે એવું ગણતા નથી એમ.
Then we talk about Marwari University, which was founded in 2009 by my father, and Jeetubhai Chandarana as the co-founder of the Chandarana family.
We started as just 360 student with just 5 classes on ground. But at the same time, the vision was huge.
We are now at 11,000 students, and it's a 35-acre campus.
અને એ બધું 100% વિઝન એનું જ છે અને આખું એન્ટાયર નેટવર્ક યુનિવર્સિટીનું એ જ જોવે છે.
Creating new generational students, helping them to do well in life needs multidimensional approaches these days.
And that's how we started that let's do something for society and to give something which is missing in this country. So that's how we started setting up this university.
So Marwadi Chandarana Intermediaries and Brokers Private Limited. So that entity is in partnership with the Chandarana family, Jitubai Chandarana, Nishit Chandarana and Amish Chandarana. So that's about proprietary and algorithmic trading, where we've got about 1500 plus traders directly, indirectly working with us.
ત્યારે મેં હંમેશા વિચાર્યું છે કે કોઈ પણ બિઝનેસથી એવી રીતે કરવો જોઈએ કે જે સ્કાય ઇઝ ધ લિમિટ હોવી જોઈએ. એમાં કંઈ લિમિટેશન હોવા જ ન જોઈએ. તમારી જેટલી કેપેસિટી વધે એટલું તમારે કામ આગળ ને આગળ તમારી પાસે હોવું જ જોઈએ.
So far what we are traditional broker with, of course, a pinch of all the new age technology available in our business.
I am a hardcore trader. I am always on the screen. I used to hear the talks about markets, business on the dinner table. So it was always fascinating about joining stock markets at an early age. So that's how I joined them, my father and my brother.
Business and the partnership is just based on trust.
It's not just one person who is going to achieve success. It's all of us together who are going to reach our goal and achieve success.
Most recent business we've entered is Pixin Energy. We've entered energy as a sector and power as a sector.
We have around 200 people now, and one question, when we ask, why do you want to join Pixin? They have, this one standard answer that it's a group, it's a part of the Marwadi family, and that's why we want to join.
That belongingness, that ownership should come if you treat them like your family members.
The most recent business and the latest one is One Finance, which I founded. One Finance is essentially a reimagined personal finance institution.
We started with building it on multiple values and all that, but we just wanted that one word that can define that why do we exist. And then finally we realized that just by being honest, everything else falls in line,
So we offer unbiased, qualified and hyper-personalized advice on one's personal finances.
We have always believed in, building up the relationship with clients and our authorized partners who are, pillars for our success, I would say.
If you don't have people whom you share your success or prosperity, then it has no relevance on its own. So Believe family is an effort. As united, we achieve something. And we all three brothers, told our father, no, we will not take this risk. But he said, no, I'm going ahead with it, whether you join us or not. And that's how we are today where we are. So it was his courage, his entrepreneurship, and his ability to see future. I think that's what made us today what we are.
યંગર જનરેશન પાસેથી તો ઘણું શીખવા મળ્યું છે જે અમને અત્યારે નવું જે યંગર જનરેશન ડેવલપ કરે છે સારી ભાવનાથી સારી રીતે.
They are carrying the legacy forward, and I'm very proud to know that and to share even that. I mean, it's a very proud thing for us.
દરેક વસ્તુઓ છે એ પેરેન્ટ્સે પણ સમજવી પડે કે તમે એને એની રીતે કરવાની છૂટ આપો. એના અત્યારના જનરેશન પ્રમાણે એને આગળ વધવા દો.
They have an open mind to take it to the next level and exploring other ways, the ways that may not have worked for them.
Like every generation learns from new generation. Like what my father couldn't do, we did it. What we don't understand, they are doing it.
I think the Marwadi Chandarana Group represents and lives purpose. It represents and lives impact. It represents and lives creating sustainable long-term businesses and organizations. And Marwadi Chandarana Group represents, taking risks where it matters, not just for themselves, but those who we impact directly and indirectly, right? So we employ about 4,500 people across all organizations. We've got about 5 lakh customers, students, so on and so forth. We've designed the business model in a way where the customer and the people's interest, directly or indirectly, is at the heart of our business. So we're a people-centric company. We're not a customer-centric or an employee-centric company. Without our values, Marwadi and Marwadi Chandarana Group won't be where it is today.